All right, man. So, as you guys can tell, it's all in on Patriots and football. But the Red Sox, offseason keeps going. New names emerging. Not just for this offseason, but next. Let's start with the rumors coming about Vladdy Jr.
Bro.
Bob Nightengale reporting that Vlad Jr., if he doesn't get a new deal done with the Blue Jays by spring training.
And they're far off.
Yep, and they're far off right now. He's saying, forget about it. I'm going to play this final season. I'm going to go into free agency. And apparently, Vlad Jr. wants to be a Boston Red Sox. He wants $450 million. He says the Blue Jays are off by $100 million.
So they're way off. That's like, we're not on the same page.
Yes.
And also, too, before we even get to the Red Sox side of this, I've lost so much money betting on the Blue Jays. I have to get this off my chest. This team, this franchise, in the Vlad Jr. era, we'll call it, has consistently underachieved to the point where it is clear it just ain't working. So if you're Vladdy Jr., look, I don't know if it's true he wants to be a Red Sox or not, but I know this. It ain't working in Toronto, and if they're that far off with the money, it probably is time to go. Now, here's my thing. If you're this far off financially, as we look at the numbers here, if you're this far off, right, I mean, and you've constantly and consistently underachieved as a franchise, if you're the Blue Jays, don't you trade them, George? You're not just going to let them just walk right out of your life. Okay, you could be a free agent.
At the deadline.
Thanks for your service, Vladdy. Hell no. You got to trade him.
Yeah.
Don't you think the Sox will have to get involved with a trade here?
No, because he would have to agree with an extension with the new team if they trade him.
So it's a rental.
Exactly. It'd be a half-season rental.
Okay.
He could go be a mercenary for some playoff team.
Dodgers.
Maybe the Red Sox. They wouldn't trade him to the Red Sox. Yeah.
The Dodgers. Because they get everyone.
Blue Jays at this point, they should get the biggest return possible, trade him at the deadline.
Right.
Now, yes, say if he goes to, let's say it's the Dodgers. What the Red Sox are risking at that point is
he's happy.
He's in their building.
Yes.
He's happy. He's winning. He's around a bunch of bats.
That's my point. Do you trade for him to ensure if he wants to be here?
You think the Blue Jays would trade within division mid-season?
You got to get something. Red Sox have prospects. Am I crazy?
Yeah, but it's within the division, rivalry.
And he's killing you for a decade.
And the Red Sox are a team that's ahead of you. Why help them get even further ahead? Yeah, you get their prospects in return.
Sure.
I get it. It's tough to see that divisional trade going down. And for Vlad Jr., that's something you could go with the risk of, let's get him in free agency. We don't have to give up any more of our prospects because Kyle Teal already gone, Braden Montgomery already gone in a trade, of course, to get Garrett Crochet. Let's see what the rest happens. But this is the right-hand bat they need. I mean, 940 OPS, 26 or more home runs the last 3 seasons, and a good glove defensively. I think the glove's a wash. This is the power bat they need. But then, this is when it gets interesting, Trev. Red Sox in pursuit on Pete Alonso. That's the bat they need. This guy is 35-plus home runs, 46 and 40 the 2 seasons prior. Ton of experience. Been a game wrecker in the middle of the Mets lineup since 2019.
He has, bro.
The only player with more home runs than him since he got up to the major league level is Aaron Judge. It's best company you could be in.
Yeah.
Right-hand bat, absolute masher. The Sox need a legitimate DH that can blow any game open. The Alonso pursuit is the one that jumps out to me.
Yeah, I feel like Vlad's younger. Am I making that up in my head? Pete Alonso, not that he's some old man River, but it just feels like he has more mileage on him. Maybe.
Well, yeah, Vlad's 25.
Right? I don't know. How old's Alonso? 30. I'm not.
It's 5 years.
I guess
the difference in bat is substantial, though.
It is.
Pete Alonso is one of the best power hitters in the game.
But those 5 years matter. They feel longer to me. It feels like there's more wear and tear on the tread. He's had more playoff appearances certainly than Vlad Jr. has. I don't know. I think I'd rather, if we're playing a game of who would you rather, I think I'd rather have Vlad Jr. I mean, honestly. Not that I'm against Alonso. Who the hell would be? I'm just saying, look, you can't have both. Okay, this isn't fantasy baseball here. So if it's one or the other, I think, and maybe this will be a good poll to get people to vote on. I think I would play the long game and either trade for or wait out Vlad Jr. I think I would, George. It sounds like you would go Alonso.
Well, it is significant, the age of Alonso, and he is coming off a career low in all the major hitting categories, including home runs. So if it starts to taper off, you don't want to shell out all that money if it's a guy that's 30 and you only get maybe 2-3 good years out of him. It's the same thing that puts him in a predicament with Alex Bregman. Now the connection between a Pete Alonso, a Vlad Jr., and an Alex Bregman, if the Red Sox give an Alex Bregman all that money this offseason, then could that cost him a Vlad Jr. next offseason?
Oh, that's fair.
And that's a short versus long game as well.
Yeah, that's like a domino effect.
And all this you have to mention. Now look, Alonso, Vlad Jr., right-hand bats. Tristan Casas is still there at first base. That's a lefty bat. Exactly. What do they predict from him?
Yeah.
We've seen Craig Breslow come out and speak about Casas not going anywhere. They need a righty bat desperately. They need a DH desperately. I think this is more of the play there between Vlad or Alonso.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The one where I always give Bregman the defensive versatility. If you want Rafi to become your DH, Bregman can play third. He can play second.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he's also, don't poo-poo this, George. I mean, we can't just gloss over the guy's a champion, knows how to win. This is a Cora guy. Some of this stuff isn't quantifiable, right? Like,
I'm big on the leadership Bregman brings.
Me too. That's who I want.
You need adults in the room.
Yes.
You need a leader in that clubhouse.
That's right. Thank you. Especially surrounded by so many young players. By the way, just for reference, because we were talking about a Vladdy trade potentially and giving up prospects to get him here to ensure that you can re-sign him. Just a quick Google search. Top farm systems in MLB. This is according to MLB.com. So this got to be law right here. Of course, the Red Sox are top 10. They're number 7 on this list. But for reference, because you said, hey, if you're the Jays, be careful trading them within the division. This guy will kill you for a decade. Rays, number 1 on the list. Twins, so another AL team. O's, number 3 on the list. In other words, you're not going to escape this guy. Guardians, number 4 on the list. He's going to be in the AL. If you're just going to go off of Blue Jays, where can we get the best return? He will haunt you. There's no way around it. All the best farm systems in baseball reside in the AL, and 3 of them are in the damn division. So there's no way around it anyways, if you go that route, which I have to imagine. My God, you're just going to let him walk out of your life, that kind of talent? Hell no. You better get something for him while you can.
They'll get a return.
Right?
I'd rather him waste away in Minnesota than in my division, though.
Sure, fair. But I guess my point is, he can still kill you there, too.
No,
in a playoff scenario or something like that.
See him a lot less.
Right.
Hey, the guys on 310 to left, TC, Lou Merloni, and Julian McWilliams, they spoke about other guys the Red Sox are eyeing, like Nolan Arenado and Alex Bregman. Check it out right here.
All right, guys, another adult that's been discussed, Nolan Arenado. A lot of talk that the Cardinals would like to trade him, and there's a lot of talk that he would absolutely love to come to Boston. You see some of the reports that he has already invoked his no-trade clause, but reports are that he would waive it to come to Boston. We know the relationship he has with Trevor Story. But over the last couple of years, there's no doubt his bat has not been what it once was. 10-time Gold Glover. We know he can play third base. Lou, would he be a fit? Could he be the guy instead of Bregman?
Yeah, you see, he could be, but Bregman's just a lot cleaner because I think the willingness to play second. Arenado for 3 years, and you could probably get him for $50 million or so. They'll eat some money, and you won't give up a prospect. So it's a good fit, and you're right. Like, I think he desperately is trying to or wants to play here in Boston. It's just, okay, now, I thought this was more of a possibility because I thought they were going to have to maybe use Casas to get pitching in the offseason. Devers goes to first. So does Devers go to DH? Like, taking him off the field completely to me is pretty drastic, at least to start the year, right? And not put him at first and just say you're the DH. And now Yoshida. We got to move Yoshida. I don't know, you DFA the guy. He's still a pretty good hitter. He just may not be what you want. So it's very complicated when it comes to Nolan Arenado. If they made it work, sure. Yeah, he's one of the best third basemen of his generation. That's what's different between him and Bregman. He stays at third base. Bregman came up a shortstop his whole life. Moved to third because of what Houston had. He can play second base, but it's just very complicated. But I would take him.
Certainly.
Julian,
I would take
towards that end. Julian, let me ask. I want to ask you specifically about this because he mentioned Yoshida. Now, Chaim Bloom was the guy who got Yoshida in the first place. Chaim Bloom is in St. Louis. Could you work Yoshida into a deal to bring Arenado here to at least clear up the DH spot?
I think so because I think Chaim is still very big on Yoshida. I think he's still very, very bullish on Yoshida. He says, Chaim's been under the impression is that, he's a guy that you just got to let him play. He has to be out there. He has to play. So if he doesn't play, he was sort of a platoon DH last year. That doesn't necessarily work well for him. But you look at the Arenado thing. I'm with Lou on that. It's like, look, if you have an opportunity to bring him here, certainly you bring him here. Like he said, he could probably shore up the defense, right? They've had issues with their defense. He has a history of Trevor Story, but again, you're talking about a guy that's probably 33, 34 years old who's had a bad couple of years. But I think he's better than not doing anything, right? He's better than not just sitting on your hands, not doing anything. So, if they can get him, sure. I would love to cover him every day. I would love to see clean baseball. I would love to see a team that didn't make as many errors as they made. I would like to see Trevor Story and Arenado back, playing as their 2-man game that they had all those years in Colorado, and shoring up the defense. So, but I think ultimately, it just makes the most sense to go out and get Bregman.
Nolan Arenado, one of the best third basemen I've ever seen play
Hall of
baseball.
Famer.
Yes.
He's going to be Hall of Famer.
Still an elite glove. But
Yes.
that bat has fallen off a cliff.
Yes.
Just 16 home runs this last season.
Right.
It'd be a righty. He'd have that short wall, high wall, but short wall out and left. But what this Red Sox team needs is certainly an upgrade in defense. The defense has to get better.
Yeah.
They need a big bat.
Yep.
And I understand what Lou's pointing out. Maybe move Raffy to DH.
They have to move.
Nolan's third base.
Yeah.
A lot of shuffling to go around.
Yes.
What would be the price? And I like how TC opened it. We said it with Bregman. You need an adult in the room. You need a leader in the clubhouse. Arenado brings that. And maybe Arenado is short term, the bat's not there like it would be a Bregman. Long term, though, the versatility defensively is there because he said he'd play first to land with a good team. Nolan Arenado said that, and still we get the leader.
Yeah, but he's a Hall of Famer. He's playing third. We know it.
He said Nolan Arenado said himself he's willing to play first.
But he's playing third.
But he's willing. Yes.
He's willing. He's
Here
willing.
he would play third.
And same with Bregman. Bregman said, look, I can play second. It doesn't matter to me, whatever. Both of these guys, I think we're all saying the same thing. We all agree that either one of these veterans are a really good fit. I think Arenado works, but I think Bregman's a better fit, and I prefer Bregman.
I prefer Bregman.